Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, we gotta talk about Myles Turner, because Myles Turner absolutely pisses me off more than any other fucking player on the Indiana Pacers roster, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because last night, Myles Turner had probably the best game of his career. He had 37 points, 12 rebounds, I think 3 blocks. He was shooting threes. Like, he looked like, like the guy that we fucking drafted. You know what I'm saying? He actually looked like the guy that we expected him to be last night. I mean, yeah, he had 37 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And he was doing it all. He was stopping Zion Williamson. He was stepping out and shooting the 3. In fact, he was doing it so well that Jonas Valanciunas was taken out of the fucking game. I mean, last night was what I envisioned Myles Turner to be, like, a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expected Myles Turner to be this player a couple years ago now, okay? And, of course, as per usual, whenever Myles Turner actually plays a decent fucking game, which seems to be like once every other game, you know, the Myles Turner crowd came out. And what I mean by this is the Myles Turner fanboys came out and were like, 4 years, $100 million. Oh, he's a good player. He's this, he's that. Do you realize that Myles Turner in his entire career has less than 10 30-point games in his entire fucking career? And I think he only has one 40-point game. I could be wrong, but the fact of the matter is, okay, the reason I've been such a huge advocate to get rid of Myles Turner and trade him is because he has not shown production level like this consistently enough to justify paying him 4 years, $100 million. I mean, we paid him 4 years, $84 million the last time on his last rookie extension, and I thought we got fucking ripped off with that. And then on top of it, okay, people now, after one game seeing him play well, want to come out and say, oh, well, you know what? He's definitely worth 4 years, $97 million. He's worth 4 years, $100 million. Well, I mean, we could have had DeAndre Ayton for 4 years, $133 million. So, I just think to myself, man, like, Myles Turner, I like to call him Mild Turner, okay? Like, M-I-L-D Turner. And the reason I call him Mild Turner is because he has been fucking mild for as long as he's been in the league. I mean, let's take a look at his stats, okay? He's a career 13-7 guy, if I'm correct, or 13-6 in that ballpark. But he's for the past, he's on his, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th year in the fucking NBA. Okay? He has only had one season where he's played like a full season. His second year in the league, he played 81 games, and then when he was 22 years old, he played 74 games. But, like, this is a guy who struggles to give you 60 games played a year, okay? His rookie year, he played 60 games. Second year, he played 81 games. Third year, he played 65 games, right? Then when he was 22, the year after that, he gave you 74, but after that, it just falls off a cliff. 62, 47, 42. This year, he's played 5 games. I mean, for the past 2 years, this is a guy who's struggled to play 50 games, right? And, like, it feels almost like you're lucky if he plays 65 games for you. And that sentiment would hold to be true. I mean, his first year he played 60. He's 26 years old now. But I just think to myself, man, like, if we look at his career averages, okay, last year he averaged basically 13-7, okay? Year before that, 12.5 points, 6.5 rebounds. Year before that, 12 points, 6.5 rebounds. Year before that, 13-7. Year before that, 12-6, right? Or, yeah, 12.5, 6.5. Year before that, his second year in the league was actually his best year in the league, 14.5 points a game and 7 rebounds, okay? When he played 81 games. Now, I'm gonna say this, okay? Myles Turner, the reason Pacers fans don't like Myles Turner is because he is painfully fucking average as a center, okay? Like, do you realize how far the Pacers could have gone in the past couple years just making the playoffs? Even with Sabonis. Even though people like to bitch and complain that, oh, Sabonis clogged the lane, Sabonis did this, Sabonis did that. Okay, Sabonis became a better player than Myles Turner in a shorter amount of time. Like, do people not understand that? Like, Domantas Sabonis went from bench player or sixth man to starter in the course of a year or two by being on our team and getting minutes. Myles Turner has been the starter for God knows how fucking long, and he has been the same fucking player. Okay, when you start for 8 years or 6 years in the league, you should be better than a 13-6 guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be better than a 13-6, 13-7 guy. You just should be. And the next game they have to play is against the Denver Nuggets, and guess who he's got to play? Nikola Jokic, right? And we know Nikola Jokic is going to get his. He's a back-to-back league MVP. My problem with Myles Turner is his season has gone like this already, if you really want to be literal about it. The 5 games that he's played this year, it's like 20 points one game, 6 points the next game. 27 points one game, 4 points, 5 points the next game. 37 points the next game, 4 points the next game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a model of inconsistency. And that's why I don't like him. That's why Pacers fans don't like him. There are Pacers fans that love him because he blocks shots and shoots threes. But we don't need a fucking center that shoots threes. We just don't. I'm sorry. We don't. We have Tyrese Halliburton. We have Buddy Hield. We have Benedict Mathurin now. We have Chris Duarte. Jalen Smith is capable of shooting threes. Maybe not very super efficient, but he's capable of shooting threes. O'Shea Brissett is capable of shooting threes. We have guys on our team that can shoot the three-point shot. Like, I get it. It might not be at the clip that you want it to be. I mean, I don't know what Jalen Smith is shooting from three this year. Let's go ahead and check it out. But my point is, okay, every time Myles Turner has one of these games, okay, he's shooting 29% from three, but we're 10 games in. He shot 37% from three last year. I expect these numbers to go up as the season goes on. But the fact of the matter is, okay, we have guys on our team that are capable of shooting threes. I understand why people like Myles Turner. Yeah, he blocks shots and he shoots the three ball pretty well for a big man, if I'm being honest. Like, he's a pretty decent three-point shooter for a big man. But the Pacers don't need a big man who shoots threes. What the Pacers need is a guy who is going to bang down low, who's going to get them rebounds, and somebody who's actually going to, like, get easy points around the basket. We simply don't have that. And last night was the first fucking night, I feel like, in 2 years where I've seen Myles Turner setting screens and diving to the basket. He did it twice. I was like, okay, and he dunked it. He fucking dunked it. I feel like a proud dad right now. He dunked the basketball. Do you know how many years Myles Turner has been going to the basket and going up like this, like, fucking pussy willow every time? I mean, last night, I feel like I saw a Myles Turner who I'm like, wow, that looks like the motherfucker we drafted. You know, a guy who's going to go to the basket, dunk the ball. He can still shoot threes. I'm not saying he can't ever shoot threes, but it's the idea that for the past 2 years, I've watched Myles Turner come down the court on fast breaks, just trailing, nonchalantly jogging to get to the three-point line to shoot a three, and we're not winning because of that, okay? We won against the Pelicans last night because Myles Turner finally used his fucking versatility against a guy that doesn't have any, okay? Like, against Jonas Valanciunas, they took Jonas Valanciunas out of the fucking game because he would not guard Myles Turner on the three-point line, okay? And I think to myself, right, like, if we can get Myles Turner to do this consistently, if he can become not Nikola Jokic, because that's a big threat. Like, that's a big ask, right? But if he can become one of the better centers in the league and develop some type of inside-out game and actually defend his fucking position around the basket, the Pacers might actually have something. And part of me feels like drafting Benedict Mathurin, seeing how good Benedict Mathurin's playing, seeing how good Tyrese Halliburton is playing, is finally motivating Myles to do something other than stand around on the fucking three-point line. But this is something that coaches should have been doing with Myles Turner years ago. Okay? Like, this is something that should have been a thing 1, 2, maybe even 3 years ago. Because this is why we kept getting bounced in the fucking playoffs every year. Because Myles Turner, even as good as he may be, as much potential that is there, okay? He's painfully fucking average because it feels like when he does have the ability to dunk the basketball, he fucking doesn't, okay? And then I just feel like more often than not, he's searching for a 3-point shot rather than just getting the fucking 2 points that he's given. So, I don't know, man. You know what? I'm happy. I'm happy that last night went the way that it did because, I mean, to be fair, the Pelicans played pretty horrendously on defense last night. I mean, the Pacers had 6 guys in double figures, almost 7, okay? So, I don't want to put too much, like, stock into it because it's like CJ McCollum had a really bad night, but, like, I don't want to put too much stock into it because the Pelicans aren't exactly the best defensive team in the NBA. But, like, if we could play more games like that, where Myles Turner is setting screens, rolling to the basket, getting people off balance, you know, because, like, a lot of people don't understand this as well. When Myles Turner dives to the basket, suddenly you're opening up the perimeter for guys like Benedict Mathurin, for Chris Duarte, for Tyrese Halliburton. And, like, I don't know why Pacers fans are obsessed with Myles Turner shooting threes. I'm just not, because you benefit more from him diving to the basket, as you fucking saw last night. I will never understand this fucking thing with Pacers fans where they're like, oh, we got a center who shoots threes. He needs to shoot threes. Look what happens when he dives to the fucking basket. Look what happens when you have a guy who's a threat to score inside and out. Okay? Everybody on your team fucking eats. I mean, shit, TJ McConnell scored 10 points last night. I mean, and Benedict Mathurin was 1 basket away from scoring in double figures. So, all I'm saying is, okay, we had 6 guys in double figures last night. It could have been 7 because the defense had no idea what to do with Myles Turner. Because if you collapse on Myles Turner, you have Buddy Hield out there. You have Tyrese Halliburton out there. You have Chris Duarte out there, right? Andrew Nembhard has looked very fucking good for the Pacers, right? They got shooters. So that's what I've been trying to get through Pacers fans' heads for 4 years now. Okay, like, if you have a center, this is why I was so high on DeAndre Ayton. It was why I wanted DeAndre Ayton. Because it's like, when you get someone like DeAndre Ayton, or in this case, Myles Turner, who is not only a threat to score around the basket, but can shoot the 3. Because DeAndre Ayton is shooting 3s this year. Check it out, okay? Like, I get it, you know, it may not be, you know, 34, 35, 37%, whatever, but DeAndre Ayton is capable of shooting 3s. We have seen him do it, okay? But when you get a center that is an inside-out threat, okay, suddenly everyone else on your team is getting easier looks, and they're getting easier baskets because now you got a 6'11" center with a 7'4" wingspan who it's like, okay, I gotta watch him around the basket now. Oh, I gotta watch him on the 3-point line now. If Myles Turner can do this for the rest of the year, okay, and continue to be this guy, and continue to do this, because if he continues to put this up, okay, and keeps doing numbers like this, the Pacers are going to re-sign him. Even if I feel like that's still a mistake, because I feel like he's going to have one of those Julius Randle years where it's like he'll have 1 year that's really good and then fall off a fucking cliff. If Myles Turner can continue to be this player, 37 points, 12, it doesn't even have to be 37 points, bro. If it can just be like, if he can just be even like a 15 and 12 guy, right? Or just something mild like that, right? Like, if he can just score 2 more points a game, if he can put up 15 and 12 or 15 and 10, right? If he can get those rebounds up, if he can score another 2 points a game and continue to block shots and actually defend his position, like we saw last night against Zion Williamson and Jonas Valanciunas, if he can actually defend his position and stop being a little fucking girl, then the Pacers might actually be a playoff team. Like, they're 5-5 right now, and Benedict Mathurin's looked very good. Tyrese Halliburton's looked very good. Buddy Hield has looked very good. Okay, if we can get Myles into that, and Myles can finally start playing like a true center, you might actually have something. It's just, I can't believe we had to wait like, what, 6, 8 years? 8 years for him to finally decide, oh, hey, you know, the paint's open. I had to wait 8 years for this motherfucker to finally decide to start dunking a basketball. I mean, and you got guys coming into the league like DeAndre Ayton, who are, in my opinion, already better than Myles Turner, and they're only on their, what, second or third year in the league? I mean, it just, to me, it's been a long time coming, but I guess it's better late than never, but we'll see. We will see if this continues against the Denver Nuggets when he has to play against Nikola Jokic, because, not for nothing, man, but I've seen Kevin Love body Myles Turner. I've seen Tristan Thompson body Myles Turner. I've seen Jakob Poeltl, okay, body Myles Turner. I have seen Myles Turner get outplayed more often than not. So, we'll see. Against the Denver Nuggets, that will be a true barometer for, like, is Myles Turner really this guy? Is he really that guy? Because it felt like last night against the Pelicans were just letting everybody score fucking buckets, it felt. So, I don't know yet. We will see. But Myles Turner, okay? If Myles Turner can finally show me that he's not, you know, this stretch four, essentially, or like an oversized power forward, then we can drop the Myles Turner nickname, because that's what I've been calling him for a very long time. Myles Turner, because he is painfully fucking average. If he could have been this guy when we had Paul George, if he could have been this guy with Oladipo, right? Like, we might have actually went somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know what? Better late than never. Tyrese Halliburton, I think, was a huge addition, so we'll have to wait and see, but we're working on 16 minutes. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.